Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On The Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna, this is my mom Gina.
He is a journalist.
He's the enthusiast.
She is enthusiastic. We got some good stuff to talk about today, some football to talk about.
We have the NFL going into week 4. We've got a big game tonight between the Packers and the Bears. That's always a great rivalry game. Very historic football game for all the fans to watch.
It sure is.
So that's going to be awesome to sit down and watch tonight.
We got a little local football going on tonight too.
Yes.
Your little brother's 8th grade football team is playing today, and he's an interior O lineman. And you, coach, have a high school game going on tonight, a Thursday night game.
Correct. Our varsity boys are playing tonight, so that's going to be a fun one. We're excited because it's football season. We're right in the heat of it. We're about 1 month in, and it's been some really good football. It's been awesome. I'm really excited for everything.
Hey, I'm going to tell you a secret. Guess what?
What's that?
We love football.
I don't know if that's a secret or not.
Is that not a secret? I'm just always excited during this season because, basically other than like Tuesday and Wednesday, you get football every night of the week.
Yeah.
You get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night football.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I'm in it. I'm happy.
All right, well, let's get to the NFL here.
Let's talk about it.
We've got some games we want to cover and kind of dissect a little bit. Let's talk about a guy that we didn't really talk about last week.
I don't know how we missed it.
As we had some guys that we highlighted for sort of players of the week. As we haven't really done that much before, but there's been a lot of really good plays and players this season. One of those guys being Kareem Hunt for our Kansas City Chiefs.
We also talked about Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, another young guy, second year in the league at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And then we mentioned Tom Brady, just how at his age he's still playing at a very high elite level. And the team that he played last week was the Houston Texans, and their young quarterback Deshaun Watson, who we were very high on coming out of Clemson, has really just shown his worth and has been kind of the saving grace for that franchise right now. He literally has put the team on his back.
How did we miss Deshaun Watson? I'm a huge Texans fan.
Yeah, you must not be doing your homework on them. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's just throwing shade. That's so mean.
Well,
that's
you didn't pick them week 2.
Okay,
I picked them week 2.
In fairness to me, I thought the matchup wasn't in their favor. I was trying to be an analyst. I guess I need to stick to be an enthusiast.
Just be a fan.
That's ride or die.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. I rode with them last week, even though they were going into Foxborough, playing at Gillette Stadium against the reigning Super Bowl champs and Tom Brady. And what happened? Deshaun Watson and my Texans defense stood up.
Yes, they did.
Deshaun had him, and honestly, I love you, Bill O'Brien. If he had gone for it on 4th and 1, they'd have put that game away, and the ball would have never been back in Brady's hands. As it was, he gave it back to him with 12 seconds, and Lord knows 12 seconds too long for Tom Brady.
Exactly.
But Deshaun, the man Watson.
Yes.
I was so proud of him. How I didn't name him as one of my players of the week, it's because the Chiefs, were just so, Kareem Hunt. But Deshaun, I'm sorry I overlooked you. The Texans looked amazing. And this is a good person. He's just not a phenomenal football player.
Right.
He's a good person.
Yes,
He's kind of like Dabo Swinney at Clemson, who was his former coach. And Dabo and his wife is a single mom, and she was killing herself trying to help him. He gets on, he walks on at Alabama, gets him a little college apartment, goes and gets his mom. They slept in the same bed.
Yeah.
He took care of her, she took care of him, and now he's a successful head coach. You look at Deshaun Watson, and this is a guy who's got the same kind of character. What's his, you got some info on his backstory.
I mean, he's amazing on the football field and off. And I love your comparison. Dabo Swinney, he's a family man. He's got a great family. His wife is awesome. His kids are awesome. His mom raised him to be someone that thinks about family first. Their household, Dabo Swinney speaking, their household was rough growing up, but he went back for his mom and said, I'm going to bring you along with me. And so I think those two stories correlate very well. Dabo was able to kind of mentor Deshaun, as Deshaun grew up in a tough household as well. His mom had tongue cancer, which is kind of you don't hear that type of
it's not something you hear
that cancer all the time, but she had tongue cancer, struggled very much. So she was a great person as well. He was part of the Habitats for Humanity. His house was built by that organization, work done. who was one of my all-time favorite running backs
absolutely was.
for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Played at Florida State, was a great running back, had a lot of good years in the league. Actually built Deshaun's house. And so
how cool is
there
that?
was a lot of give and take, full circleness for all of those people involved. And so Deshaun Watson just is a great man, great person. And so he definitely probably should have been mentioned last week.
Well, we mentioned him as a player, but as a man, he took his paycheck, which I don't know if it's $90,000, $100,000 a week, depends on the player. They get a lot of money, first rounders, and he handed it to 2 cafeteria workers from Texas. Because we all, there's some stuff going on in the world, but not the least of which was that our brothers and sisters in Houston, Texas, and in other Port Arthur, Texas, are still drying out.
Yes.
Even though the water has receded, these are lives that have been devastated, and he gave his weekly paycheck.
His first paycheck that he ever earned, he gave it to
2 cafeteria workers
who work
from
for
Houston.
the Texans,
right?
And they're cafeteria workers, as you said. And yeah, it's a great story. And that he's a humanitarian.
I'm
These are the
just really
types of
proud
stories
of
that
him.
you want to hear.
These are
in the
NFL stories.
Exactly.
Hey, guess what, folks? These are NFL stories.
Great people, a lot of great things going on in the league, and we have to highlight those as those stories happen all the time.
When you tune in on the deck, that's what you're going to get from us.
Yes.
Well, let's pick some games, shall we?
All right, well, we've got games starting tonight, as we mentioned. We've got the Bears and the Packers tonight. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Let's start with that. What are your thoughts on this game?
Bears at the Packers. The Bears surprised me. They're not nearly as terrible as I thought they would be. But like I said last week, you are not going to beat the Pack at home. So I'm going Packers, and I'm actually going big. Aaron Rodgers is fired up. Another good guy. We'll talk about him later, but I'm going Pack.
Yeah,
big.
I'm going to also go with the Packers. I think the Bears still have some things they got to do. They had a big win against the Steelers last week, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat the Packers this week.
All right. Well, then Titans at my Texans. I'm not even going to discuss it. Texans.
That's a good pick. I think that's something you should stick with. I might go with the Titans this week. Marcus Mariota is a great quarterback. He's had some surprising wins, beating the Seahawks. It's going to be a tough game. Why are you giving me that look?
Okay, Shady McShade. All right, well then, you go Steelers and Ravens.
Okay, yeah, Steelers, Ravens. I think the Steelers have a lot to prove here. The Ravens' defense is really good. I think there's still going to be a lot to handle from last week and all the divisiveness. I'm actually going to pick the Ravens at home.
I was going to actually ditto that.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Ravens. Steelers, y'all got some issues, so I'm going Ravens.
Yes.
Bengals at the Brown. You got the battle of the bottom feeders.
Yes, you do.
And guess what? I'm picking the Browns at home. How you doing?
They were saying
DeShone Kizer.
Yeah, they were saying that Myles Garrett might be practicing this week after he has been injured with an ankle injury or lower leg injury. I'm actually going to go with the Browns as well. Let's see if they can do it. Let's go Browns. Okay, Rams, Cowboys at Cowboys Jerry World.
Cowboys.
I'm also going to go with the Cowboys, although I do think the Rams looked pretty good against the 49ers the other week.
I think the Rams are playing well. I'm rooting for Jared Goff,
I
but
think the Cowboys
you're not beating the Cowboys at Jerry World. Giants at Bucks. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. They're a game down from everybody, so Giants are desperate for a win.
They are.
Desperate. They got Odell back, and he's up to his antics. I'm going to go again on a limb and pick the Giants here. I don't believe it, but I'm doing the enthusiast pick here, Giants.
I'm going to go with the Bucks here. I think the Bucks are a good team. They've struggled, but I think they're going to take this one, especially at home.
All right,
okay,
Raiders.
So we got the Raiders and Broncos.
Oh, sorry, that was you. My bad.
Raiders, Broncos. It's going to be a good game. I think that the Broncos and the Raiders both have a lot to prove since they both lost the week before. It's in Mile High, and so it's a very tough place to play, so I kind of have to go with the Broncos there.
I'm hitting the last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Broncos are bouncing back. It's really hard to beat them at Mile High. Sorry.
Yeah.
Colts at the Seahawks. Colts are playing great. The Seahawks are playing terrible, but they are at home. So I'm going with the home team. I'm going Seahawks. Well, I'm going to call it close. Seahawks pull it out by 3.
Yeah, I think it's the Seahawks as well. The 12th man is a tough place to play at. Seattle, that fan base is very awesome, and they're strong for their team. So nothing against the Colts. Love Jacoby Brissett, but I'm going to go Seahawks.
Okay, then we have Lions at Vikings really quick. I don't know if Sam Bradford's back. There's a little quarterback controversy, but the Lions had a game stolen from them last week, so I'm actually going to pick the Lions against the Vikings even though they're at home.
Yeah, I think the Lions right now are looking really good. They should have beat the Falcons last week. I'm going to stick with the Lions as well.
I hate
as
picking the Lions,
looks
though.
good, and just for the fact that don't really know who's going to take snaps for the Vikings.
I hate picking the Lions.
So,
all right, what's our last game before we
got,
go?
Washington versus Kansas City. Monday
Kansas
night
City.
game at
Come to Arrowhead.
This is going to be a fun,
See what
fantastic
happens.
game.
Come to
We're looking
Arrowhead,
go
see what
4-0. Our team is hitting on all cylinders
And
right
we
now.
played well on Monday nights. Thank you.
We're going to be live and active and loud, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great game, great atmosphere. Who are you picking?
Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Chiefs. No brainer there. They just got to play well and execute. They should win the game. So it's great. It's awesome.
It's football
I'm so
season.
glad that we get a Monday night game, another one here in Kansas City. That's what we do.
Chiefs.
So we appreciate your time, folks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Type in my name, Adam Orduna. Like our Facebook page. Type in OTD. Continue to follow us on Twitter. We want to say we appreciate your time, and we'll see you again, folks.